We're going to begin on this Tuesday morning with breaking news overnight. A significant escalation by Israel in its war against Hamas on the very day the conflict hits the 7-month mark. The Israeli military says it's now taken control of Gaza's Rafah border crossing with Egypt, and it's shut it down. That is the sole exit point for people in southern Gaza and a major artery for delivering international humanitarian aid. This is new video into us this morning from the Israeli military. It shows, according to Israel, its tanks operating in the southernmost Gaza city of Rafah at that vital border crossing. The Israeli military presence is coming a day after Israel dropped leaflets and sent text messages instructing about 100,000 civilians in parts of Rafah to evacuate. Israel has long vowed to launch an assault on that city, the only area of Gaza it has not to this point entered, in defiance of mounting international calls from allies not to launch any such assault. In a phone call just yesterday, U.S. President Joe Biden warned Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu once again against attacking the city. Let's take you live to Tel Aviv to begin our coverage this morning. Sarah Coates once again with the story. Sarah, let's begin with the details so far. What more can you tell us about this operation, Israel taking control of that Rafah border crossing, and what it means in terms for the people in Gaza?
Hello there, Heather. A senior Israeli official has come out to tell US media that what we're seeing on the ground now is a limited operation and is happening to try and get Hamas to agree to a ceasefire and hostage release deal. Now, the Israeli military's released an operational update saying that this area, Rafah, where these tanks you can see in these pictures surrounding that Rafah crossing, the military says it was being used for terrorist purposes after some 10 rockets were fired from that area at the Kerem Shalom crossing on Sunday, and also some other rockets a little earlier today with this incident on Sunday, killing some 4 Israeli military personnel and wounding 10 others. Now, the military says that over the past few hours, its forces have killed 20 gunmen and located 3 significant tunnel shafts in Rafah. Now, we do need to point out that this is a vital humanitarian access point, the Rafah crossing. And right now it is closed, prompting real fears from the international community over the humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip. Here's what we heard from the EU Foreign Policy Chief, Josep Borrell.
In spite of this warning and this request, the attack started yesterday night. I am afraid that this is going to cause again a lot of casualties, civilian casualties. Whatever they say, there are 600,000 children in Gaza. They will be pushed to the so-called safe zones. There is no safe zones in Gaza.
And Heather, sources on the ground say there's desperation, there's fear, and there is chaos among these people that are sheltering down in Rafah as these evacuations continue. But people on the ground say they're being moved to places that simply are not safe.
So, Sarah, as you just mentioned in your reporting that Israel may be trying to pressure Hamas to return to the negotiating table or to pressure Hamas in the ongoing negotiations. There are certainly back and forth talks which may seem stalled, which are going to take place in some form today, we understand. So what is the latest as far as negotiating today? And what is the latest thinking about whether there can be a deal at this point?
Well, we do know that the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, he is sending a delegation team to Cairo to try and restart these negotiations after that announcement late yesterday from Hamas saying it's agreed to a deal. But we do need to remember that this deal that Hamas said it agreed to is not the same deal as Israel agreed to some days ago. So what these mediators, Heather, are really hoping now is that there is some time to find some common ground between these two parties and get them to accept a deal before this Rafah operation goes any further. Now, there have been mass protests here in Tel Aviv and in other places around Israel overnight. The family members of these some 132 hostages that do remain in the Gaza Strip. They are demanding that the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu do a deal now, saying this is far more important than any kind of military operation. And in saying that, there is real hope on the ground also inside Gaza after these premature celebrations last night when Hamas said it had agreed to this deal. Of course, these people are desperate and they want to see a ceasefire now. Heather.
Sarah, thank you so very much.